You may see these as separate uploads on here. You may see one video uploaded for all three of them. Folks, just to rewind, we're going to eventually get to our max out raw on this. Being an old guy, we're not just going to jump into it. Some of these young bucks, you'll see, just go right into it. I've got a couple injuries that have basically not really healed up. They're permanently fucking me up. And that's the way it goes, but they should be good enough for this. Now, let's just, while I try and get my weight belt on. So all-time max, 430, around age 34. From there, I wasn't able to lift as heavy. We became parents and kind of screwed up my career there, we'll say. Stayed pretty damn strong until 43. Then things started to go the other way. Now, most recent raw max 360. This was in Hawaii in 2020, probably June of 2020. I was only there from April to September 30th of 2020, and during COVID, so that kind of screwed things up. Now, with the slingshot, we did 377 recently without a spotter. Using the spotter bars, the same kind of setup. I know I can do more than that if I had a spotter to pull the weight off, enabling me to get properly in position, which is going to be the problem today, is getting locked in, right? We've got to lift this off, so it's going to screw things up for me. So, pretty light. I did feel pain in my shoulder, which is making me think this is a bad idea. But we're gonna soldier on, right? We will not be using spotters, or not spotters, collars. If I do 225, it'll really be 226, right? This barbell, unless I got it mixed up with the other one, we know for a fact it's exactly 45 pounds. And we don't, what was I saying? We know for a fact it's 45, and if the plates are 45, and you add the collars on there, some of my collars weigh as much as 9.5 ounces a piece, so that is over a pound for the two of them. Now, that said, I need to finish this workout, pre-workout. I should have had this in my system. So you may have noticed I've talked less lately about buying a dedicated incline bench due to the failures I've been having lately. Within, last 2 months, we've had 4 significant failures. One where I almost knocked myself out. Thank God I was strong enough and adrenaline pumped in to save my ass. We've had 3 bench press failures, and one incline, or excuse me, one of those was incline. The other 2 were flat. One was a max out of 385, I think, or 380, I don't know. With the slingshot. The other, we gotta put a 5 on here. The other was military press, and That one was where I almost didn't hit the rack, and I pretty much came within like, I don't know, half an inch of hitting my head. But had I just released it and it fell, could have really messed me up. So, this doesn't look centered. Bench is not centered, and that's why the weight is not centered either. One of these days I'm going to mark the thing on the floor so that we know exactly where the heck we are. Alright, so last week you may have saw me do raw 286 reps. Not a big deal when you know that not long ago I could do 340 for 6 reps raw. So we're way off. Now the slingshot has allowed me to do, at least on the decline, 345 for 6 recently. Over here we did probably my best lift over here that I was like, okay, wow, we did 320 for 9 reps with the slingshot. I was pretty happy with that. Now, if I had a spotter and I maybe did not complete reps, I would have done more reps, because the more you keep that weight down by your chest and don't lock out as much, the more reps you're probably going to get. Alright, let's stretch out a little bit. So we had no idea if we're going to get 6 on this, but if we got where to get 6, it would at least make me feel like, okay, we're improving. Now from here, we're going to start doing 1 reps just to make sure the body's ready. Ultimate goal today, folks, I think, is a 340 max out. And occasionally we'll do these just to see, hey, is the slingshot helping? Maybe it's a little late to be using doing that. Because realistically, when I was first using the slingshot, I was getting like 295 for 8 reps. Now we're up to almost 325 for 8 reps. What does that tell you? That there probably was some improvement. Or we learned how to use the slingshot, right? There's those two things. Now, next time I do this weight raw, I probably will just put like 1 more pound on there. So maybe next time we'll use the collars or we'll use the microweights. Damn it. My shirt's getting stuck in the belt loop. All right. I think we're ready. Now, if we could pull these up a little bit more, I'd be happy. I just bought these. I think they were 20 bucks. Hopefully I'll have a link down below in case you like them. Or they are nice and tight. They're compressing down on me pretty good. Do I get any mechanical benefit out of it? The realistic fact is this is hard to do with these on. So, yeah, maybe I am going to get a little bit. And hey, that's okay with me. It's not the slingshot. You guys that will talk shit about me using the slingshot can talk how you want about the elbow sleeves. All right, we're going a little wider, and hopefully we'll get 6. Oh, Jesus. Holy fuck. I've never pounded myself in the chest that hard that it's made me cough. Oh, fuck. Whew. Oh, fuck me, guys. Damn. All right, I think that was, I honestly want to say that was 6. 6 solid spotter. Holy fuck, folks. I think I had 7. I'm definitely finding some of those when they hit the right spot on the way down, I feel like a machine. And the ones that don't hit the right spot, I don't feel like so great. All right, so what does this tell me, folks? If you're at home, go check a bench press calculator. 275, 280 for 6 reps would give you a max 330, 340, somewhere in there supposedly, right? If your body's working good. 285, that's gonna bump that up another 5 pounds at least. So we might fucking do 345 today. Now, one thing about the pre-workout, definitely that little stimulant gets you talking like a sailor, right? And I won't tell you guys my history, but I might have been a sailor at one time. With that said, happy Veterans Day. Some of you may watch this on Veterans Day, and just like to wish everybody happy Veterans Day. All right, I need some water. We'll be back in 10 seconds. Oh, all right, I'm back. So, trying to think. December of 2020, I had COVID, right? And I had it over in Africa. Probably, not like I was one of the first cases, but at that time, COVID had been around for 10, 11 months, maybe even before that, but they started calling it COVID. So after that, I couldn't get rid of this freaking cough. I mean, working out a little more difficult, right? Then I get home to the U.S., get freaking COVID again within a couple months. Somewhere in 2021, I think. Maybe it was either 2021 or early 2022. And then a few months ago, I didn't get tested because at this point it's kind of ridiculous. I had the flu or had COVID, but we're back to that thing where we're having problems with the breathing again. And so that's kind of a major downer when it comes to this working out stuff. You want to be able to breathe good. On the sets you need to. Now, that's 1 rep max that we'll eventually do. Take 1 big breath and hopefully exhale on the way up. But not going to be as significant as trying to do a bunch of reps. All right, pre-workout's gone. I think I'm becoming immune to it anyways. You guys have probably seen I wear some different elbow sleeves. Like I said, I just bought these. I like them a lot. Actually, this is the first time benching with them. I'm not like pulling them off, going, God, these things suck wearing. Now, does that mean they're not tight enough? Maybe, you know, I don't have them all the way up my arm like I should. You can see when you look at my arm how much smaller my forearm is in relationship to the upper part, right? So maybe I need a bigger size. Maybe it's in the right spot. I think it needs to shift up a bit more, but I sometimes get pain in here too. You know, as you're getting older, all kinds of shit goes wrong with you. You know, those guys today that are weightlifting, doing their influencing videos, they have no idea, right? The Sam Suliks of the world, the Jesse James West, guys like Greg Doucette do know, right? Older dude. Mike O'Hearn, I don't know how the hell he's still lifting after doing all the crazy weight he does. So, this is the beginning, folks. I haven't in my head decided, hey, after I punch 315 up with no problem, what are we going to do after this, right? Do we go 320? You know, how many of these freaking sets are we going to do? How much do we want to drag this video out? We're already 50 minutes into it on the completely raw video. So that is kind of ridiculous. Now, the other aspect is, did we leave enough energy in the old body after we did that 285 for 6 reps? Which I kind of wish I would use the steel plates, because I'm starting to wonder if those 25-pound bumpers are lighter. Like 20-pound bumpers, because man, that went up with no problem. And the last time I did it, didn't feel that easy, and it was 5 pounds lighter. And I think we did use steel plates. All right, folks, just gonna pop one of these up. I don't want to show off and do a couple, but if it's that light, maybe we will do 2. There. Just because we can. Feel pretty warmed up. Like to get a much wider grip, like way the fuck out here, but reality check. That was not as light as I thought it was going to be. All right. I'm thinking 325 here. Part of me in my head wants to do a 320. And if we fail, it's going to be absolutely embarrassing to me, because I remember not long ago, 315, I was easily able to do 315 for 4 reps without creatine in my system. Now when I would start kicking the creatine after, I'll say 2 months, maybe longer than that, I was doing 315 for 8. Second, 30 days after getting off creatine, boom, I'm back to 315 for 4, right? So that, oh gosh, folks, that's a major ego buster, right? Now, right now, this is the non-creatine me. I don't know how much HMB helps. I don't think it says anything about having creatine in it. So, in the pre-workout, I don't think it has creatine in it. So that said, this is way heavier than it's ever felt. I'll be back. I gotta get something to clean this place up a little bit. Alright, so we got some wipes. I want to clean up the dust on a few things. Wow, so I got that. A little bit of difficulty breathing. Yeah, nothing worse than a dirty gym, right? So one thing I can appreciate about Planet Fitness, they send those people to clean that place. You can tell they're like not really excited about cleaning, but they do it. They do their job, you know. That's a place that turnover is ridiculous. If anybody watching this channel has ever worked there, I honestly think about when I retire or semi-retire about getting a job in a gym. My present condition, I would say, probably a Gold's Gym. I'd fit in pretty good at Gold's. A little too beefy for a Planet Fitness employee. But, you know, because most of the Planet Fitness people look like they don't work out. I never see them working out. And they're just doing it for a job, right? Even the personal trainers at Planet Fitness don't look like personal trainers. I feel like I could teach them a thing or two about personal training, but that's one of those places where you're at the gym, you know, and reality is 37 years of working out, fucking yourself up doing things wrong or whatever I've done. I know a thing or two about working out, right? And just because you read something in a book, you watch some videos, something works for somebody else. The reality is, folks, not everything's going to work for you. Some people have better genetics. Some people have, you know, physical, I don't want to call them physical deformities, but like I cannot do straight bar curls, right? My comfort level with my hand is this angle or the other way, right? So, you know, if somebody told me, my biceps get hugest from that, right? Well, you might also have some injuries, like trying to do concentration curls or preacher curls might not work for you because your elbows are jacked up. So you got to find what works for you. Find a workaround, and you know, go for it. All right, so we got 325 on here. Spotter bars, folks. All right, if you don't have a spotter, make sure you have a power cage of some kind with spotter bars. And I'm one day gonna make a short about that. Maybe I already did, but you know why? Obviously, spotters are important, or spotter bars. And in this case, a spotter would be good just to get the weight off the rack. Now, interesting enough, I will say, I guess with the slingshot, it does feel easier getting the weight off the rack. Weight feels pretty good through the motion, easier than obviously it would without it. But if you're lifting 400 off the rack with a slingshot, you could lift 400 off the rack without the slingshot. You might not be able to get it off your chest without the slingshot. But... all right. Focus. Hopefully finish. I don't know where we'll go after this, folks. Bench press calculator says 335. That was not as easy as it looked. But shoulder feels pretty goddamn warm. With a spotter, I think a 335 would be easily attained. We're gonna go 330. I like to bring the old lady down here to spot me, but she's a little camera shy, so we'll go without. Hey, you know what? It's time for a fucking pump check, folks. We're definitely deserving of that. So watch the main raw video if you want to see that. The rest of the video, the rest of the cameras aren't gonna catch that. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? We got the other light on. Hang on. Hang on. Pump check, see if I fucked up. Actually, I'll just turn it to that side. There we go. Now shut it off. So, you can tell I've been putting work in on the rear delts, getting more of that definition in there. The lighting is just not that good right now for some reason. It might be all the reflection off of the other thing, but hey, whatever. All right. Come back over, folks, in case you missed us. Now, like I've said, why do we have center this camera. This camera is a little too much like the other one now. I'll move this one over. There we go. Hell, we could probably move that up a bit. Okay. Forgot where I was going with this, folks. Yep. Not really sure where I was going. Let's take a little bit of a break. Put up another mirror. The second we cool off too much, though, that's where the problem's going to be. But we don't want to come back and do this one too soon. We will put the slingshot on after this, and I don't know what weight we're going to do. Taking a little break from doing the decline because honestly, folks, I'm a little scared lately with doing decline and the near accidents I've almost had. Makes you think when you got 355 on there with the slingshot, you got no spotter. In my recent failures to get the weight up, which almost makes me think, God, is it because I'm lifting so much heavier, or is there something physically wrong with me lately causing these failures? That's a huge concern, right? All right, so my wife, she sees this, she's probably not gonna be happy. That's okay. She'll get over it. There's only $30 some for these mirrors, and the reality is we can start over. I can do this again on the other side of the drywall. All right. So there is definitely distortion in that. Yeah, maybe I'll make a YouTube short video that I can edit out. All right, so folks, if you are thinking about acrylic mirrors for your gym, just realize there's going to be some distortion. I can't say those are on there perfect, and the drywall it's sitting on is not necessarily up against the wall, but that's kind of what your view looks like. All right, So far we've got 6 out of the 8 up, and you know, we get a little closer. Of course, some of them have some scratches on them, but overall, it works. You know, I think for doing arm curls, if I faced this way and did military press, it would work good. And I think, you know, overall, $30 investment in these wasn't too bad. All right, so there's that. That's my short video. From these sides, those mirrors don't help at all. Okay, just so you know. Those of you, like, why don't I should do a head-on video. Then you can see my iPad. All right, so if I sit down, yeah, you can see my back, right? Anybody cares? So we've got 2 more big ones, and then a 4 small ones to put in. I will say, folks, I gotta say I screwed up, because reality is I should have screwed this into the wall and then put those mirrors on. Now I'm going to have to leave this thing at an angle all the time. And that's not really what I wanted, right? Because the wall's bowing, so what does that mean? Your mirrors are going to bow and distort ever so slightly. Who knows how well this is going to work using these monitor screen cleaners. Probably didn't do a very good job, but get those fingerprints off. Of course, you know, everybody that lifts weights, you know, secretly wants to look at themselves, right? Bodybuilders, you know, people laugh at weightlifters because of all the time they spend at the gym. Now, funny thing is, I think ladies probably think the worst of guys, you know, flexing in the mirror. But you'll see at Planet Fitness, and it's not just the young gals, but some of the older bags or older ladies be sitting there taking their photos of themselves, sticking their butts out. And that shit cracks me up, because, like, okay, I don't want to be in your fucking picture of you taking a picture of your ass, you know, or whatever else, right? I mean, it's like, you might not notice that female, but the fact they're looking at taking a picture, you suddenly like, oh, and then next thing you know, you're in that picture looking at them, and they're posting something, right? Who needs that nonsense? So, yeah, ladies, don't take a picture of yourself and try and incriminate people. All right, so we got 325 or 330 now. We did the 285 for 6. We did 315 for 1, 325 for 1. At some point, we're no longer really maxing out, because we are wore the fuck out, right? And when I go back and take this weight off, I'm going to do the slingshot. Actually, you know what? Here we go. Whatever we max out at, we'll then put the slingshot on the next set. We'll do reps with that. And then you can see, oh, wow. There is a huge difference, right? And we'll go reverse order on the way out. I won't do as many reps as I could, but at least you'll see probably more than double the effort on some sets. All right. Focus. we're really close to our max now. I don't know that I want the weight to come back and crush my ass. The max is either 335 or 340. I don't think it's 345. We're definitely loose. But we're gonna be getting tired here at some point, to the point where we're not really gonna know what our max is. But the good news is, for those counting at home, my max is at least 325, or 330, I should say. We know that with the slingshot, without a spotter, we did 377. We know from calculations previously that is, I should have forgot. There's a video out there I did already. 12 to 14% improvement using the slingshot for max. Okay, if it's 330. If I was able to get 340, it was 10%. If I got 345, that would drop under 10, probably 9%, which for the slingshot would tell you that I'm not getting a 10 to 20% out of it. Now, that said, if I were to put 225 on here if I wasn't all fatigued, we would get 25 to 30 plus reps, all right? Depending on the day, how I feel, and actually how wide of grip I go, and whether I completely lock out or not, right? Because that weight, it's your tricep fatigue that's going to stop you from doing 100 reps with that weight. I could do half reps and probably do 100. Maybe that's a little ridiculous, but I could probably do 40 half reps, just because you get so much help from the slingshot. Second half of the exercise, triceps, they will fatigue, right? No matter how good your slingshot is, bench shirt, whatever, triceps gotta fatigue eventually. Whew. But I gotta tell you folks, considering I have not maxed out flat, I'm kind of happy with 330 right now. Now, of course, just like every ego lifter, I want to know, what is that big number? Is there a big number, right? For somebody that's put more than a plate on here, another 45 and maxed out. The only thing I had were gloves like these and a weight belt, right? And a spotter. Assuming that spotter didn't help me, but it's a huge difference now. Wednesdays, I'm going to do a video, I think, on muscle memory, but reality is, before you hit, and this is genetic related, but before you hit a certain age, let's just say in my case it was 43, when I got as strong as I did at 34, barring any injuries, muscle memory eventually would allow me to relatively quickly get close to that max. Now, getting back to that exact max is going to take some time, but at my current age, you can figure muscle memory minus a certain percentage of strength for every year that you peaked, right? So what could I do differently at my age, I think, and get myself back? I've thought many a time about testosterone replacement therapy. Need to do more research. I know that is something that would take, basically I'd be stuck with it for, I believe, the rest of my life. Would that help somebody like me? You know, I mean, I'm already carrying a lot of muscle and strength. Do I need that? It's kind of stupid to think I do need that, but there's that ego part of my mind that, you know, wants to be more jacked than I am. And so you figure maybe that would be a good thing, because I'm only going to get so much bigger. Now, there's those of you who will say, oh, well, if you just got more cut, right, I'd be happy with the physique, but I'm not going to be stronger. The way I'm going to be the strongest I can be is if I get my body weight back to 280, okay? 280, we're going to lift the most weight that we can potentially do at this age. And some of that will be, you know, hey, all the muscles are bigger. Even, you know, I'm carrying some fat, whatever. You're not actually lifting the same amount of weight that you would, excuse me, you're lifting more weight than you would if you had the same muscle and you were completely ripped. And why is that? You know, just like Coach Greg explained in one video, that extra fat, folks, is probably supporting you somewhat as far as adding a little more support structure to the arms, or if your fatty chest is sticking out further, you're not bringing the bar down as far. You know, is it much of a difference? Probably not, but there's no way for me to go carry the same amount of weight that I have at 280 as, you know, to shred down to 10% or less, right? So we know we're going to be significantly weaker. And due to injuries, you know, where we are. All right. And nobody's watching this fucking video at this point, so I can just ramble on. I can talk about anything. How I might be a little crazy. I think the pre-workout's wearing out too. We've dragged this out too long. 116. We might break our all-time record for video length, folks. Actually, I know we're going to do it. All right, 335. This is probably the last attempt. You know, if it goes up easy, maybe there's another one. I know you guys out there are wanting me to fail probably. We'll just add this to, we'll add it to the fail video. But we also, there's those of you that want me to succeed. All right, 51-year-old natural. Assuming, you know, some of the stuff that I took in today is considered natural. But no leg drive. Man, that was easy. That was all fucking chest, folks. Shit. That went up so fucking easy. Now, like I said, if I had a spotter, we could get in a position where we can use that leg drive. And we can't do it. A lot of you say, oh, you're a fucking idiot. What are you talking about? But mentally, it's a mental thing. I get myself out of position, and I know all I'm doing is powering it up there, starting with the back. I was out of position. That there was almost, I think, no arch in the back. That was all chest, tricep, and some lower, you know, some of my back. No leg drive. The leg drive came a little late. Timing was off, but that fucking went up easy. What do I do, folks? What do I do, huh? Now, the closer we get to 377, the more pathetic that slingshot is for me. Like, it makes me realize how sucky my triceps are. Which doesn't make sense, because my arms, let's face it, those are some big fucking arms, right? The strength part of my game should be the damn lockout. I do remember when I was younger, though, I'd take my shirt off, and I, had a good stomach. People would always talk about how massive my chest is. Maybe it's more chest than anything, but I always thought my triceps were the key. I mean, I used to be able to do close grip, and I'm talking before, the internet was big. Doing close grip, really close, right? 295, 8 reps. When I should have been doing it further out. That's a good way to jack up your wrist, coming in too close. All right, so we did 335. No problem. Nothing but power. Does it mean that if I put 340 on here that I'm going to pop that shit up like that? I don't know. Should we go for 345 and just get this fucking video over with? For those that want to see me fail the weight slayer, guys want to see the weight slayer fail. 345 would get me to the point where that bench, that slingshot, Mark Bell slingshot is not doing dick for me, really, right? I mean, 30 pounds of improvement. I might actually have 350 in me, to be honest with you, if I had a spotter worth of shit. So, where's one of my good friends at? How come you guys are not here supporting me? Just kidding. I gotta have one of my buddies from work come over. He's a big workouter. Of course, I haven't told him I do YouTube videos. I'm actually kind of embarrassed. That's why you don't see my name on here. One day, actually, people have discovered my other channels, and I'm like, oops. But I can't complain when I'm making that bank on the other channels. This channel is just a, hey, here's my hobby. Either like it or not. All right, so there we go. It's getting closer. Eventually, acrylic mirror will fall off. It was tempting to put the 2 rows in the middle, go 2 down, but just to see, before I go spend more. My reality is, if I'm sitting here and I was doing military press, I'd see my form, could see how I look. So I really don't need any lower. This is a little higher. I can see the top of my head, actually right above my eyebrows. So in some aspects, it's good where it's at. We're gonna buy some more time. One of these cameras is gonna fail before we're done here, most likely. And let's go ahead and get this last mirror up. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting, we have the 12 by 12 to put up, which is actually tempting to put it up right now, just so you guys can see what this will kind of look like when it's done. Next time you check out the video, we'll have the mirror up. I actually, even though it's a bit of a fuck up at this point, I might just drill it into the wall at the bottom. Two holes, so it'll sit up against there, and it's not gonna fall off. But had I done it properly, I would have done 4 corners, and actually more than that probably. We have to find where the stud is, actually. Can't just drill it into the wall, right? So we may have to shift either the bench down or do something else. Let's get all right. Okay. So we will reshoot this video. All right, folks. If you are thinking about putting acrylic mirrors in for your gym, these are the 12x16s built on Amazon. You can see some distortion. Of course, the drywall is not completely up against the wall that I have it on. I didn't want to put these on the actual wall because, you know, when you pull these off, they're going to totally wreck your drywall. But you can see, you know, all this is really good for, it's going to help you with your workouts. You know, you'll be able to see your form. Don't expect, you know, this beautiful image, all right? But it's not half bad. I mean, for 30 bucks, I now have this massive, whatever it is, 4 by 2.5 foot mirror here. All right, so there you go. That's that. Hopefully we'll remember to make a YouTube short out of that. I'm kind of curious though if I put this up against the wall a little more. The straighter the drywall is, folks, and the less bow, the better the mirror's going to look. But you also have to lay them completely flat. And I don't think they're all completely on the same plane. So that kind of sucks. And of course the seams, you know, if you had a 2x2, that would be so much better. And I think they did have 18x18, but way more pricey. All right, I'll be back in a second for this next lift. All right, we're back. So, for those that were wanting me to fail earlier, I think I'm so far happy with where we're at. We haven't done this much weight raw in, I don't know how long it's been, actually. On flat. Decline, we have, over the last 2 years, did more than this on decline, but with a lot of pain. And decline, as you guys know, 10 to 15 pounds easier. All right, so issues with doing this in a spotter cage without a spotter. One, really getting yourself in a proper bench press form. Lifting the bar off the rack is going to be a problem. And then as well as putting this back up on the rack, not hitting the pins on the way down or the way up. So multiple things, you know, suck not having a spotter. But safety's sake, folks, the spotter bars are definitely the way to go. Now, the further I can be back so that all I have to do is barely lift this off and go straight down, the better it's going to be for me, right? If I'm way over here pulling that weight, now I'm in an uncomfortable position. And if I don't get the weight back in the right spot on the way down, we're going to have some problems. So, this is where this part sucks, trying to get yourself locked in good. All right, I'd have to play that back. I think we are within 5 to 10 pounds of our max. If you saw the way that shit was wanting to come back on me, not the way it was coming back on me, but it was definitely slowing down on the way up. I think we'll do 340 today. If we see significant strength gains in the future, we'll do this again. What would be a significant gain? Well, watching my flat bench videos, folks, what I do is I, of course, warm up. We'll do 135. We'll do maybe 155, 185, 225. All that's raw, right? Our first real set will be raw. And like we've done 275 for 6, 280 for 6, 285 today for 6. The next time I come and do this, we'll do 290. When I get to say 295 for 6 raw, it may be time to pull this back out. Now, I should easily be able to do 295 for 8, 12. With the strength that I have, it's the injuries holding me back, folks. You know, when you see somebody like myself taking the whole stack at the gym, doing tricep V press downs, 30 reps, taking the rope, doing overhead, doing the whole stack, 8 or more reps, you know there's no problem with my tricep strength. Pec deck, doing the whole stack, whether it be the Life Fitness one or the Matrix, you know, for a lot of reps, and then even going over to the cables and doing, I think I'll do 50s over there. You know, so the chest strength should be there to do a lot more. Now, the whole problem is the pain, putting it all together, balancing it, right? Getting your body to be used to the heavy weight, strengthening your core. That's something we don't talk about, folks, on here. You don't see that here, really. You might see a couple videos of me. You know, you can look at my gut and go, God, he's got a big gut. But, folks, a lot of this gut is muscle. If you see me on the Life Fitness abbing machine, cranking out 80 reps of the whole stack, plus the 10 on here, you know, I've never seen anybody do that in a video. So we will honestly toot our own horn that is pretty damn impressive. Yep. That's when I'm a little lighter, though, I think, because my gut gets in the way now, but and it's sore all the time. All right. So for our fans out there that do watch this channel and watch all of the video all the way through, hoping to see a glimpse of either the chest or other muscle parts, you know, I was thinking, just as a joke mainly, but if I did a OnlyFans and I worked out without my shirt on, huh? Would that give me some money? I'm definitely not taking my pants off, right? But, you know, I don't think everybody that does OnlyFans is getting completely nude, right? Of course, I have to get the wife's permission. And maybe we do some posing in there with good lighting. Just to make some money, huh? Would we get, if I got $5 a month out of that, folks, that would be worth it, right? That would be worth it. Now, once again, I'd have to find out if my employer would have a problem with me having OnlyFans if I'm not getting naked, right? So, that was a total joke, folks. I'd never do that, but on here, would I add a membership plan where there was some extra content and maybe there was some posing, maybe there was some additional content? Yeah, that's possible. All right. So we're pretty ready, almost ready. We've got most of our mirrors up. We've got one more row. These are just different ones, which would have been better for this. They almost feel like they're a little wider. Yeah, I think they are wider. Nope. So that'll look pretty good. We could have put it up above, but I think that's where, if we use them, it might be a waste to use them. I mean, honestly, what is the point of having one more row down? Oh, anybody wants to look at the back of my scalp. Now, if I had a camera angle looking down, which I could potentially, right? Then you might want to see the front and the back as I'm performing the exercise. That's even better than, that would be better than having two cameras filming it, I guess. For me, editing wise. Whew. What we don't have in this video though, folks, is any above shots. Those are always kind of nice. I don't know why I didn't do that in this video. Have below, have front, and one from above, and splice that into one YouTube short video. So 340, we're getting closer to where I would fail, folks. Slingshot decline, we've done 6 reps with this weight. Actually did 345 for 6. So that shows you the huge difference, right? I'm talking about maxing out with 1 rep here. And with the slingshot on the decline, we're talking about 6 freaking reps. Now that should get me mentally thinking, okay, I can tear this up. I can destroy it. I should be able to do easily 350 here today. Which once again makes what I did with the slingshot a joke. All right. Stretch out one more time. Now I'd honestly like to do some Smith machine incline today. That might not work though. Okay. So, all the haters out there, love you. Keep up the comments. Comments are actually good. Whether positive or negative, or you tell me to fuck off. Either way, I don't give a shit. Somebody will undoubtedly complain about either my form, maybe the sissy pad I'm putting on here to protect my chest, which if you saw the 285 bench for reps, I knocked the wind out of myself with it. And the other part, lack of leg drive, arch, maybe even, I think my angle's pretty good bringing it down. The arch coming back, pretty good. Sometimes, keeping that weight, that forearm completely, relatively perpendicular to the ground. Maybe not always that easy. But I am not a professional lifter, even though I've done bench press for 30 plus years. I don't consider myself professional, intermediate. Some things, at one time maybe I was an elite lifter for a natural person, but these days, not so elite at anything. All right, here we go. We're going a little wider. Hope to God that we get this. This is 340. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, we cannot get 345. All right. I'm not even going to go with the I'm not going to go with the slingshot on the next set because I'll probably only get a couple reps out of it. Let's drop down to 315 with the slingshot for the next set. We're going to call it 345 is my current raw max. No matter how much that hurts me inside to say that, you know, some of these young bucks are stronger than the old muscle dude, but hey, it is what it is. If I could sustain lifting raw all the time with heavy weight, you would obviously see something way higher than 340 on here. You know, if I had a spotter and I got myself perfectly in position, 345, 350 would have been today's max. And had we not done so many sets, right? You've got to get yourself warm to a certain point, go up to a certain weight, and then go for your max. Going up 5 pounds, I think we jumped 10 on one. There's going to be a point where you've just done too many reps. Today, you know, 285, 6 reps raw, 315 one. I think we went 325 one, 330, 335, 340. So we've done 6 sets of heavy ass weight. At least for some of you out there that can't do over 315 or over 300. But yeah, could I have warmed up a bit, shot up to 345 and banged that out? Yeah, probably could have. At the level of difficulty that was getting 340 up there, 345, somewhere between 341 and 345 is probably my max, but I really don't want to fail, because that fucks with your ego, that fucks with your body too. Bringing that weight back down and having it, not being able to push it, and you're wasting all that energy trying to get it up. That, folks, does fuck you up. So I'd rather leave here on a positive note and be, you know, happy with 340. So slingshot, 10, I think it's 10% basically, folks, is all I'm getting from the slingshot. Now, I'm using the wrong one. I should be using the Mad Dog, not the Mad Dog, the Full Bore level 4 instead of level 5. I could have that screwed up. I either have level 4, I need level 3, or I have level 5, I need level 4. But the reality is, the one that's below it, which should be the yellow one, is meant for 315 and above lifts. So you'll see as I do my heavy weights, I am well over 315. And, you know, definitely on the decline, we're over 315. Here on the flat side, we'll go 315 up to, like we did, 377 that one day. Now, because I have these now, I need to look at the Bench Daddy, I think it's called, because I can keep these on, put my arms through them, and use that. There's no way, shit, I might not be able, folks, to put these slingshot on due to the pump I have in these arms. I may not be able to put this on. This is the XXL, meant for people that are, I think, up to 300 pounds, or the 3XL is for motherfuckers that are enormous. I can barely get this on. My bicep, my right one, the left one goes on easy, but on the right bicep with when I get a full pump, right? So the bicep goes from 18 to 19 probably, or close to that. And so this thing does not fit very well. And then with these on, probably not going to fit well at all. But it might slide. I'm going to try it. Toot my horn again. Look at this. So I think that is actually, is that defective? No. Wait a second. Uh-oh. Nope. Okay, it's supposed to be like that. All right. So print side from the underside goes towards you. And oh, wow, we can slip it over the sleeves. That is awesome. Now this side, folks, this is the side that's a bitch. And actually, maybe we weren't that pumped up. All right, I think we're gonna bang out. Uh-oh, we forgot the weight belt. Can I get this on? Ugh. Ah, you're fucking kidding me. This is bullshit. Ah. Can I get the weight belt on with the slingshot engaged? There we go. All right. So I've done 320 for 9 when I had, when I was fresh, right? This is 315. And we're just gonna kind of give you an idea of what the slingshot will do for me. And I may just do this to failure, which may mean the weight is gonna come crushing me down. All right. So, if you can notice where I am on the bench, somehow my ass slid to the left. That was not a good feeling, right? Look how easy I could fall to that side. And that did affect how many I could do. It felt heavy. I felt pretty worn out. We didn't, obviously not cranking anything impressive with that. I should just leave these over there. One of these days I'm going to get back into decline consistently. So the next set, we'll do 285. Move this out of the way. Put the 45 back on. Holy shit, folks. We'll do 285 with the sling. Now with raw, we got 6 today. 6 powerful reps. 30 pounds less. Should feel like quite a difference. Honestly, I think I'll put collars on. That's gonna make it a pound heavier. We'll use the ones that are 8 ounce, exactly 8 ounce. If I can find them. Yep. Check my video out if you want to see how much the collars individually weigh. How's this going to help me? Well, the weight's not going to slide on me. And when you're doing a lot of reps, inevitably you're not keeping your arms perfectly squared up or whatever, or center, or they're not going up at exactly the same speed. Just a little bounce off the chest might cause the weight to slide. Regardless, if you get weight plates dangling further on one side and you don't readjust your grip, it'll screw you up. You won't get what you will with everything perfectly squared up or centered. Whatever I'm trying to say. Right now, the way the weights look, right? If those weights shift, the center of gravity, center of mass is now shifted as well. And so that's not such a great thing. Of course, the bar, if you look at these individually, the bar center of gravity and center of mass is always going to be, basically the very center of the bar, lengthwise, and at the center of the diameter, right? With the weight plates on there, everything's in the same place. We shift the weights that way. Now things are this way, and now we have more load. We could have more load on the right side. So a little science. One day I'm going to break out the physics book. Whatever class I learned that in. Back in high school, back in college. We haven't had physics in 20 some years, folks. So I had high school, that's over 30 years ago. College, I had to take physics with calculus. And then there was a second class that was even harder, physics with calculus. I think it was one and two, something like that. You can tell I probably forgot more shit. But then, you know, you get in engineering stuff, take a class called statics, dynamics, mechanics of materials, all these great classes that when you look back and you think about weightlifting, when you apply those things, you could obviously use the science to get an advantage or understand, you know, what's going on. All right. Whew. So I've said that these were not getting irritating. Now that everything is pumped up, we are definitely starting to feel them. Been on for over an hour. One last pump check. This may be the last weight we do, folks. I'm going to take this over here. Try and get one good pump check in. If I can get the lighting right. Oh yeah. So for those of you that are missing out on the pump check, it's a beautiful thing. I don't think we can turn this camera around and get a good view, but we'll see. So there's the pump check, folks. See, you know, benching. Shoulder does get work, right? Tricep is fucking pumped, right? And our rear deltoid's not looking as beautiful as it should. Now, could I get this a little better? I think if we move this over ever so slightly, it would be even better. There you go. We can just see what we're doing. All right, so enough of that. Time to go back to lifting weights. And I have so many videos I've got to put up. We need our watch hours, folks. I've noticed the shorts are the one thing really increasing our subscribers. So we need to do more of those, obviously. And hell, we can do that. We get this channel monetized, we can start making some money on it. That'll offset the other channels that I've taken away from with this. But this is honestly my first love. This and guitar. You'll never probably see guitar video on here. Okay. So, once again, 285. Since the bar is exactly 45, the collars are 1 pound for both of them, 8 ounces a piece or so. So in reality, this is 286 for those really tracking at home. Okay. What am I doing here, folks? So earlier, like we said, we did 6 reps raw of this, and or 285 without collars. We want to show the difference here. Even though I'm tired, I maxed out of what we would get with the slingshot. All right. we did. I know we got over 6. That was fucking good. So I'm not gonna do a 225er. We're gonna call it. Call it on that. And that was a 2-hour video. Holy shit. Whew. Thanks for checking out the video, folks. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you. And for this camera, we will do a short video comparing those two.